Hey guys, this is Stelly after with Close.io. How do you deal with people that are telling you, I don't have time for this right now? The I don't have time right now, or it's not a good time for us right now, objection comes up all the time in sales. It might come up early, at the first cold call, almost after the hello, or it might come up late in the sales negotiation where you've already had a few calls, you presented and made a demonstration, a pitch, you sent some materials over, you went back and forth answering all questions, and then towards the final line, the final push to actually get the deal done, they tell you, you know what, it's not really a good time for us right now, or this is not a priority right now, maybe we'll check back in 2 quarters or something like that. It always sucks, right? One way or another, for whatever reason people tell you they don't have time, that objection is a really hard one for most people to manage, and it sucks. But what I want you to understand is when people say, I don't have time, what they're really saying is, it's not worth my time. It's not that they don't have time. They have as many 24 hours as we all have a day. It's that they don't think it's worth their time to invest in whatever you are doing and whatever you want from them. Doesn't matter if it's their attention, doesn't matter if it's a first pitch, or investing your product and service and deploying it and purchasing it and using it in their company. So think about it. It's not you need to understand that it's not about time, right? Let me ask you, if they were convinced and 100% believe that they would get, an 800% ROI on every dollar or every minute they spent with you, wouldn't they take the time? If they knew they could make, $8 for every dollar they spent for your solution, wouldn't they do it as many times as they can with as many dollars as they could? Yes, they would. Would they spend as much time as possible with you? Yes, they would. The problem is that they don't have the time. It's that it's not worth their time, or at least that's what they think. So you need to understand this to be able to manage this objection successfully. Let's go through a couple of exercises or a couple of scenarios. But before I even do that, let me tell you that your number one job when somebody tells you that they don't have time is going to be to demonstrate enough value and convince them of the value to the degree where they start believing that it's worth their time. That's your job. When somebody tells you, I don't have time, it means you haven't done a good job demonstrating value yet. So this is what you need to do next. And value can come in different forms. It might be that you didn't pitch them correctly and didn't, obviously present the benefits of your solution. It might be that you are not trustworthy enough and they don't believe anything you say. So you might be saying this is worth hundreds and hundreds of millions in ROI for you this year, but if they don't believe you, it doesn't really matter what comes out of your mouth. So it doesn't matter what it is, if it's a trust issue, if it's a highlighting the ROI issue, you haven't demonstrated value to the degree where they want to invest their time in this right now. So this is what you need to do next. This is your goal. Let's take two quick examples. Cold call, right? You pick up the phone, you call somebody, they pick up the phone for the very first time, they hear your name, your voice, what you're doing, and when they say, well, not when they say this is not a good time in a meeting, but once you had a little bit of a conversation with them and they heard you and listened to you a little bit and now they know what you do and what's going on, and they say, you know what, yeah, I don't really have time for this, or this is not a priority right now, this is probably not a good time. What you want to do there is you want to understand the prospect a bit better to be able to sell them on the value of it. So how do you do that? Is by asking simple questions. Hey, I totally get that. You always want to agree, right? I agree it's probably not worth your time, or I agree it's not good timing right now. You know what? The funny thing is the last 7 people that were in your position and in your market that I talked to told me the exact same thing, and it turned out that they were wrong. Let's see if you're going to be the first one that's right. I just need 3 minutes. Let me ask 2 questions to confirm that this is not an investment of time that's going to be worth it for you. Let me ask you, what is the number one priority at this point? If you're like the other people that I work with and my customers, my most successful customers, your number one goal for the next quarter is to, whatever it is, right? Insert thing in your industry, increase revenue, decrease cost, accomplish something, whatever it is. Tell them, is this something that matches your priorities, or are your priorities completely different? And if so, what are your priorities? So what you do here is you agree, hey, I haven't demonstrated value enough for you to invest your time. Give me 3 more minutes to confirm that it's truly not a wise investment of your time, because many people thought the same thing, just like you, and they were wrong. right? But you say it in a little bit of a charming way with a smile on your face, and you can say something completely different. This is just my style, the way I would address it. But you can come up with your own style. You don't have to be as, you don't have to follow any certain, style. What you have to do is understand that what you have to do. What you have to do is understand what you have to do. What you have to do is gain a little bit more of their time, convince them to invest a few more minutes with you to really explore if you can demonstrate value to the degree where they think it's worth their time. What about the later stage though? What if you've gone through the cold call or the inbound call, whatever it was, and you've done a bunch of emails back and forth, and you had the online demo, and you sent the proposal, and you did all that, and then they tell you, we don't really have time for this right now, or it's not really a priority right now. What you've done there is you need to realize that you've missed the opportunity during the entire negotiation, conversation, and sales cycle to understand their priorities and understand what they truly value. So whenever you were pitching ineffectively because you didn't pitch what they care about. You didn't demonstrate how what you do is going to address their biggest needs and the highest priorities right now, how your product or service is going to help them accomplish their goals today. Not some fluffy thing that you think is important, but is not really at the top of their priority list and not at the top of their mind share. So when people tell you it's not a really good time, now we're going to check back on this later down the line, something went wrong. Right? They invested all this time. Think about it. It's crazy. They've invested all this time with you to then tell you it's not worth their time. That seems like a little bit of a conflicting issue here. Something went wrong at some point. Either you did something wrong and they just say they don't have time as a nice way to get out of it, but they don't really want to tell you where you messed up. Or you sold them, they came into the conversation thinking it's worth their time. And by the end of the interaction with you, you convinced them and sold them that it's not worth their time. Ouch, right? That sucks. So if that happens, what you need to do is pick up the phone as quickly as possible. Don't write this in email. Don't sell an email. Pick up the phone and tell the person, hey, I need your help. We went through all these conversations with this demo. Both of us invested so much time in this. It breaks my heart if all this was for waste. And it makes me realize that I messed up. I did something really, really wrong. Help me out here. Help me understand. I thought that we would get the deal today and that this would create amazing value for you. Help me understand. Where did I mess up? How did I fuck this up? What did I do wrong? Right? Open up, be vulnerable, and allow them to be honest with you. They'll go, no, it's not you, it's us, something changed, blah, 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 this and that. And go, no, I don't accept that. My job is to help you succeed in this area, and obviously I'm failing at it, so don't take that responsibility away from me. What did I do wrong? Why isn't this a priority? And let me ask you, I totally forgot to confirm that I understand your priorities. What are your priorities in the next 3 to 6 months? And then see if you can realign your value proposition, your service and product with those priorities. And if you can resell them on the initial reason why they wanted to talk to you for so many hours and invest so much time in this. Make it worth their time. That's how they're always going to give you time and buy your solution today and not push that decision off to some magical time in the future. All right, I hope this was helpful. You can always send me an email to stelly@close.io. Go check out our blog, blog.close.io. We post 3 to 4 sales hacks, sales tips with you every single week. And make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get all these videos and you don't miss out on any lessons and any sales hacks and sales tips that we share. All right, take care. Bye-bye.